If you're a writer, you know how much work it takes to bring a book to life. But what if all that hard work still leaves your story falling flat? An editor can take your book from average to exceptional, helping you find clarity, refine your voice, and avoid critical mistakes that could sink your story. Without a great editor, your book could be lost at sea with no chance of success. But with the right editor, it can become a bestseller. So don't leave your book's success to chance. In this video, I will explain what a book editor does, why you need one, and where to find one, as well as how to work with one for the best outcome. What does a book editor actually do? It's a question we get asked on a daily basis. It's important to understand because an editor is a key piece of your book's publishing puzzle. They are at the center of the entire process. Developmental editors, copy editors, and proofreaders. I will cover their exact functions and what they do later in the video. First, let's start with why you should hire an editor in the first place. And just quickly, if you want to steal best-selling author Brandon Sanderson's book outlining guide, there is a link below, as well as a link to our website where you can find a great editor or join our newsletter for more great content like this. So why hire an editor in the first place? You've poured hours of your life into writing your book and now you want to release it into the world. You might be thinking, my writing is top-notch. Why hire someone just to nitpick at my book? Well, editors do way more than just nitpick at grammar and typos. They improve the quality of your book, as only a professional editor can, who is also completely unbiased. They aren't your sibling, your spouse, your parent, or your friend. They don't need to protect your feelings. They have one focus, which is to make your book better. And by doing so, they will also save you from the embarrassment of a boring plot that doesn't make any sense, is too wordy, or where you wrote Dave, but you actually meant John. So if you intend to put your writing in front of readers and you want it to be the very best that it can be, hire an editor. It will be the best money you spend to improve your book and the quality of your writing. We know that self-publishing requires you to invest your own money, which is the route 99% of authors take these days. You might be thinking, I want to save some money, but the truth is, if you want your book to sell and get great reviews, you have to invest in your book. And a great editor is one of the best investments you will make in your publishing journey. The more you invest, the more rewards you will reap once the book is published. If you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you keep getting more great content like this. The first step is for the editor to read your book. Their goal after the first read through is to give you a true understanding of what it's like to read your book. This is powerful because it's unbiased. Like I said before, your friends and family will tell you your book is great, even if it's not. And while editorial feedback can be hard to hear at times, it is only going to make your book better. The editor's role with this first edit is to suggest changes that will make your book even better. Then it's your creative genius as the author that brings those changes to life. Editing is always the first step, even if you're a best-selling author like J.K. Rowling or Brandon Sanderson. Let's talk about the three main types of editing. Developmental editing, which is a big picture edit looking at scope, sequence, and structure. In non-fiction, it looks at writing style, whether the book makes sense and keeps the reader engaged. In fiction, it might deal with character development or plot and reader engagement. Copy editing, which catches grammar, spelling, sentence structure, and other small but crucial details. And then a final proofread is always done at the end. This is to find any lingering typos, missing information, or inconsistencies. And it should always be done before the book goes to formatting. We've helped more than 4,000 authors to publish their books over the last decade. That number still shocks me every time I say it out loud or write it down. The books that succeed, that sell, that hit bestseller lists or help authors achieve their goals of starting a new business or launching a writing career full-time are always those where they have invested in editing. Sometimes you might want a co-author. This is someone that helps you write the book, a bit like a ghostwriter, but they are there to do the actual writing with you, not just suggest changes and leave you to do it. This can be a great way to work, and I highly recommend it where budget allows, especially when you are a first-time author. We know that editorial feedback can be hard to hear at times, but it will make your book better. So how much is all of this going to cost you? Well, that is going to depend on the size of your book. So it could range from as little as £500, or about $660 for my American friends, or as much as £5,000, just under $7,000, if you do a developmental edit on a very large book or have a co-author. It all depends on how big your book is. The bigger the book, the more it's going to cost. Sometimes it can be daunting to figure out what editorial services you need. We actually offer a service where we provide an initial book review that lets you know what editing service you require. An editor looks over your manuscript and for a small fee provides a comprehensive manuscript evaluation, looking at things like plot structure and pacing, character development, writing style, chapter by chapter breakdowns, overall strengths and weaknesses of your writing, specific suggestions for improvement, evaluation of the manuscript's current state, and we even give recommendations for the next steps. Just head to publishingpush.com, fill out the form, and we will send you more details. So now you know why you need an editor. How do you actually work with an editor? So I wanted to give you some tips for how to get the most from this relationship. First, you need to pick the right editor. Of course, if you work with a company like ourselves, we do all of this for you. But it's crucial, if you're doing this on your own, that you find an editor that is the right fit for your genre and your style. Communication with your editor as well is absolutely key. Again, we set this up for all of our authors. And be open to feedback. Really embrace the criticism they give you. They are truly focused on just making your book better. And if you aren't sure about anything, ask them to clarify. Another key point is to have deadlines so that you know when to get your edited book back. Of course, there's going to be flexibility needed because things change while you're editing and it might be more work or less work. And finally, give as much guidance to the editor as you can, your preferences on style and things like that. And finally, when the edits do come back, take your time to review them. Don't rush that part at all. For more information about finding a great editor, get in touch. Our details are below. Any other questions about editing and this process, drop a comment below and I will do my best to respond.